So as usual, let's move our joints. So starting off the neck, we're just going to tuck our chin in, and we're just going to go down the spine. So we're just going to curl our shoulders forward a little bit, suck our stomach in a little bit, and then try to bring almost our hip bone or pelvic bone up. Okay, and you do the opposite where you try to extend everything, breathing in. Okay, once again, just kind of going down. You can think of that as bending the spine one segment at a time. Okay, but try to move every single one. Okay, do the opposite where you try to bend it the other way. Okay, let's do it 3 more times. So breathing out. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, 2 more times. See if you can extend. So try to bend back a little more. Don't do it too hard, bending forward. We kind of do enough of that when we sit around usually. So we want to do more where we open up the chest. Okay, and let's go sideways a little bit. Okay, and we are just going to move our shoulders up and down. You can take a breath in as you come up and breathe out as you try to separate your shoulders and your ears. Let's do about 5 per side. 4, 5. Okay, come back to center, pause as long as you need to. When you're ready, do the same thing on the other side. So once again, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and this is number 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and coming back down. Okay, let's look left and right. Okay, let's also open the shoulders at the same time. So you can just try to stretch the shoulders back even further than before. Pointing the fingers back as well while you look left and right. Maybe 1 more time per side. Okay, and let's move our shoulders a little bit. So we're gonna just bring your hand up towards the head. Okay, and then back and closer to the hips. So just gonna reach up. Okay, and then almost gotta reach back a little bit. So slowly see if you can get your elbows a little bit higher and see if you can get your hand a little bit further backwards up your back. So just try to reach up the elbows. Maybe take a deep breath in. Okay, breathing out. See if you can slide your hand up a little bit up your back. If any part of this hurts, don't force it. Just go as far as you feel comfortable without pain. Yeah, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So starting off with smaller motion first, just to get the shoulders moving. And as you feel more comfortable, see if you can exaggerate the movement a little bit more. Okay, maybe 1 more time. Okay, let's get our elbows, both elbows up. So you're going to draw circles in front of you with your elbows. And once again, small motions first. See if you can exaggerate the movements a little bit. Try to bring the elbows a little closer together. Get your elbows up a little higher. Get you further out to the side. Okay, and then dropping both shoulders down away from the ears. Keep breathing in as you reach up. Okay, you can also try a few times in the opposite direction. Okay, when you're done, shake it out. Let's just rotate the entire body, moving through the feet. Okay, turning the hips, turning our feet side to side. Okay, and let's just go bigger motion, reaching sideways, overhead. Okay, and then 1 more just behind the back. And we're just going to try to squeeze your shoulder blades back. Take a deep breath in. Okay, breathing out. Deep breath in, breathing out. Okay, and 1 last time. Okay, check it out. Okay, we're going to rotate the shoulders in and back out. Okay, so you're just going to turn your thumbs inwards and then back. Okay, the same thing, but upwards and back. Okay, so you're just trying to almost draw a half circle or a U shape. while rotating your shoulders. Okay, and just try to rotate your wrists a few times. Okay, and same thing other way. Okay, see if you can close your hand one finger at a time and then try to open them back out one finger at a time. So just gonna close the pinky and then just do the opposite. Okay, and we flip it over, see if you can close it other way. So we're gonna close the thumb first and then pinky last. Okay, and then see if you can get it back out. Also one finger at a time. So this might be a little bit more awkward to do, but let's give it a try. Okay, and then just kind of open and close in the fingers. Okay, and then just bend the ends on the fingers as well. And then just shake it out. Okay, and going moving our hips a little more. All the way around. Same thing, other direction. Holding onto a wall or chair, you're just gonna swing your leg back and forth. Folks trying to see if you can squeeze your butt muscles to kick your heel a little further back, but without bending the back though. Okay, so you're not arching it back. You're just trying to open the hip, squeezing the heel to go further back. Okay, so let's do 3 times where you try to squeeze it back a little more. 2, 1. Okay, and then 3 times, see if you can kick it up a little higher in front. Okay, same thing, don't bend your back. See if you can keep your upper body straight, but kick the heel, so kick the toes a little higher up. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Just back and forth first for a few seconds. Okay, and we're gonna do 5 where we try to kick further back without bending at the waist of the trunk. Okay, and then 5 where you try to kick up forward a little more. Okay, so 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then 5 where you try to kick up in front of you a little higher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, shake it out. And let's do side to side. So this one, also holding on to something, just swing it side to side. So just imagine holding something still. Okay, but swing your leg side to side. Okay, once again, we're gonna do 5 where you try to kick up a little higher towards the outside. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and 5 where you try to scoop the leg up a little higher. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and shake it up. It should hold on to something. Okay, but just side to side again. Okay, both sides equally to start with. And then we're gonna do 5 where we try to kick outside a little bit higher. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and 5 where we try to go inwards a little more, scooping up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, shaking it out. Okay, let's just bend and extend the knee. Okay, also checking our balance for today. See how we feel on one leg. Okay, and same thing, but getting the leg a little further back as we also bend and extend the knee. Okay, same thing on the other side. So just check the balance on the other leg. Also bend and extend, or bend and straighten the knee out up in front. Okay, and then try to see if you can bend and extend the knee a little further back. Okay, and rocking on heels and toes, leaning forward to counterbalance as you lift your toes up. And side to side, lifting one side of the foot up or feet up. Let's see if we can rotate our ankles. Same thing on the other side. Okay, and lastly, see if you can just play with your toes a little bit, scratching the floor, lifting them off the floor, spreading them apart if you can. Okay, see if you can maybe lift up one toe at a time, like our fingers. So you and then putting them also 1 or 2 at a time. So it'll be big toe up, and then the second and third toe, fourth toe and fifth. Okay, just play around, see how much control you have. Okay, so for our aerobic stuff, today we are also going to be using a towel. Forgot to mention that at the beginning of the class. So we'll give everyone a second to grab that. Okay, just gonna grab some water. Okay, so if you don't have a towel, that's okay. You can still follow along. So we're gonna start off marching on the spot while holding the towel. Okay, so we're gonna warm up the shoulders a little bit more again, actually. So you're gonna actually lightly, you can use a resistant band as well. For this, I believe your towel is a little better, but you're gonna grip it a little wider, okay, and you're just trying to march, and you're just gonna bring up overhead. So once again, at the beginning, don't force the shoulders to go higher than they feel comfortable. Just give yourself a little more time to get the shoulders moving. If you have a long enough towel and your shoulders are flexible enough, you can see if you can open them up all the way. If you cannot, don't force it. Okay, but you can give it a try. So if it's too short of your towel is too short of your too tight, just go up as high as you feel comfortable and then coming back down. Okay, just do about 5 to 10 times, relaxing for a second. Okay, and we're just trying to increase our pace. Forgot to start the clock. So we're gonna do a little longer to get a little bit more progression in a sense. Okay, so when you grab this a little shorter, or you can kind of double it up again. Okay, we're gonna still be marching, but we're gonna do something we call a halo, which is also kind of good for the shoulder. So what we're doing is that you're trying to get the band, get the towel to go around your head. Okay, so this is still opening the shoulders. So once again, we usually tend to be too much forward. This helps to open the shoulders a little bit. So you're just gonna keep marching as you get the towel to go around your head. Okay, so let's do 5 one way, and then let's do 5 the other direction. So just gonna circle the other way. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, checking it out. Okay, so we're gonna get the towel behind us. Okay, we're just moving our shoulders in different ways, but still, if you feel comfortable, see if you can get your feet moving a little more. Okay, but you're gonna lightly pull on the towel, and once again, you're just trying to go further back. Okay, let's do about 5 times. So 2. So lightly pull on the towel and start to see if you can get it slightly further back. 3. Don't worry about how far you're going, so I don't want you to kind of slouch to get it further back. Just see if you can actually get the shoulders and to stay up as you move your hands further back. So 4. Okay, one last time. 5. Okay, so shake it out a little bit. Okay, so let's give the shoulders a rest. Okay, but let's try to get everything moving a little faster as we just move side to side a little bit. Okay, so getting a heart rate up, which is the goal. How we do it doesn't actually matter too much, as long as this feels okay on kind of knee, hips, shoulders, etc. Okay, and let's go front to back a little bit. Okay, so let's incorporate our shoulders into it. So we need to grab the towel again. Okay, as we go back, we're going to flip it back. As we go forward, we're going to flip it forward. Okay, so a little bit of coordination. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do 10 times. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and let's go sideways a little bit. So we're actually going to circle one way as we step one way, okay, and then try to circle the other way. Which direction it is doesn't matter. You can play around. Okay, as long as we're coordinating our hands and feet. Okay, so let's call this number 4. Okay, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so let's get the shoulders moving a little bit more. Now we need to actually do a cross in front while we are marching. Okay, so you can keep moving forward and back if you want to. Okay, maybe just a few steps forward and back. Okay, and you can swap it around. Kind of start off in our direction. Okay, some 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now let's try to get a heart rate unit a little bit higher. So we're actually, if you can, spread the towel out a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of try to clean, I guess. You can go up and down. The blanket is going to provide a little bit of resistance from the air. And we're trying to do it as quickly as we feel comfortable for about 10 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to stop our feet for a second. And we're just going to swing up and down like we're just dusting off. So hold, keep doing this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, so and we'll just take this time to get it back in a longer shape. Okay, and we're just going to try to hold on, we're going to double it up and just hold on to it with one arm now. Okay, so now we're still going to be going back and forth, but we're going to add like a swing of the arms to it. So as we go back, we're still going to get the arms out. And then we actually take one step instead of multiple steps, where we take a step forward and you're going to do a cross and then come back. Okay, so it'll be step, step, come back. Actually, it will be swing, swing instead. Okay, and then come back. Okay, but you'll be marching as you prepare. So it'll be one step forward, 2 swings, and come back. Keep marching. Okay, so 2, 2, come back. 3, 3, come back. 4, 4, come back. 5, 5, come back. Okay, and let's switch arms, but do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to step it out of foot and then do a cross and then come back. Okay, so it'll be, oops, I should get the hands up first. Okay, so 1, 1. Okay, come back. 2, 2. Come back. A little bit of coordination, not as good as the left hand for me. 3, 3. 4, 4. Okay, and then 5, 5. And coming back. Okay, so going back to the other hand. So what we're going to do is that we're going to just swing the towel over your head. Okay, so give it a few swings first, like we're partying, and then we're just going to swing the towel on top of your head. You can do slower motion first if you get comfortable. Okay, and then we're going to do 5 seconds where we try to go a little faster. But before we do that, let's see if you can switch direction a little bit. So one direction is going to feel a little more comfortable than the other probably. Okay, so let's, I guess, go from the outside inwards. Okay, so we're going to go a little faster for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Probably get up shoulders, getting a little bit of a pump or getting a little bit of that burning feeling. Okay, and then we're going to just do the same thing with the other arm. So take it slower first. Okay, see which direction feels a little more natural to you. Okay, once again, do it slower first. Keep your feet moving if you can. Okay, and see the other direction. See how that feels. So for me, this is the opposite direction that feels more comfortable for me on my left hand for some reason. Okay, so but when you're ready, see if you can just go a little bit faster for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, and once again, let's give our shoulders a little bit of rest. Okay, so let's change the pattern a little bit. We're just going to hop side to side a little bit. So we're just going to take a step out, step the other way. Okay, so start off slower first, almost like we're skating. Okay, just to, you can add a little bit of a hop as well. Okay, and do smaller steps. Okay, and now let's add hands to it again. So when you go, just a little bit bigger motion with more effort with the arms, and try to coordinate that with the legs. Okay, so let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and let's switch direction. So I'm gonna swing the towel up on the opposite shoulder and then coming back down the other way. Okay, so legs will be getting a little tired by now. If it is, just do smaller steps. Okay, but see if you can get used to the motion first, and then we add a little bit more force either on the way down or on the way up. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, giving your legs a little bit of rest. We are just going to go back to marching. Okay, so we're 1 more minute. So we're gonna go back to open the towel. We're gonna do the swing up and down as well. But this time, we're gonna go into a little bit of a mini squat. So remember to get your feet a little wider than your hips. Okay, so it'll be something like that. Okay, and what we're gonna be doing is that we just do it up and down. And we're just gonna squat down at the same time and coming up. Okay, we're gonna aim for about maybe 20 seconds. Okay, so if you feel comfortable, see if you can drop down a little more or go up and down a little bit faster. Okay, so we have 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, good job, everyone else. I think that was right 10 minutes on the dot. Okay, so let's still keep moving for a little bit, just to gradually bring our heart rate down. Shake out your shoulders. Okay, so probably shoulders maybe a little more tired than usual. And then let's get ready for the resistance band stuff. Okay, but let's slow down. Okay, so good job, everyone. Let's grab some water, find our bands, find a chair even for the balance stuff. Okay, so for today, we are same as last time, or the last couple of times. So an upper body one, a lower body one, combining the upper and lower body one, and a balanced one. If you can find something to hold the band onto safely, that'll be great. So that could be a door, could be a railing, probably works the best. Or anything that's like a heavy chair or something like that. Okay, so we're gonna start off the lower body one today. So this one, it might actually be better if you have 2 things to hold on to. So I'm actually gonna grab my other chair as well. So today we're gonna practice the reverse lunge. So some people will usually ask, like, if I fall on the floor or if I get up from the floor, how do I do it? So the first thing for any movement really is that, do I have enough strength to do it? So when you think of getting up on the floor, usually if we're still to get one leg up. So we're in this kind of 90-90 shape, I guess we can call it. And then we're to push ourselves up pretty much more so the front leg. So this is just kind of practicing that, but not all the way down to the floor. So you're going to use as much support as you need. Usually easy if you have 2 chairs, so you can use the hands to help. But you're going to take a kind of pretty much a big step back, and then you're trying to just get the knee a little closer to the floor. So I'll remove 1 chair so it's easy to see which side. But you can take one big step back. Okay, get your hips back as well, so you can tell my knees are not too far forward, because there's a lot more pressure on the knee, which can be uncomfortable. So we want to get the hips back, so our front knee is also back, And then we're just gonna drop down slightly. If you wanna make it harder, feel free to drop down lower, but you can just drop down a little bit and you should feel this knee is still gonna be in alignment. So we still don't want the knees to be kind of caving in or maybe too far out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a step back. We're gonna just sink down a little bit. We're gonna hold for about 3 seconds and then come back up. Okay, so we're not gonna do as many, but we're gonna try to hold it at the kind of the harder position for a little longer. Okay, so from the front, we'll look something like this. So we're gonna take a big step back, make sure the knee is still over our feet. We're gonna drop ourselves down slightly. My knee is still not too far forward. Okay, we're gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1. Push ourselves back up, and then we're gonna switch legs. Okay, out of leg back, same idea. Make sure your knee is not too far forward and it's not away from the center. Okay, you're gonna drop yourself down slightly, or only as far as you feel comfortable, holding for 3, 2, 1. You can use your hands to get yourself back up, or you can try to push yourself back up with the front leg. Okay, so we're gonna do about 5 per side. Okay, so we're done 1. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Back up. Okay, and then switch legs. Okay, so as usual, take it easier the first couple of times. 3, 2, 1, and use the hands if you need to. If you find there's too much pressure on the knees, just double check, is my knee too far forward? And am I dropping too low for my abilities? Okay, so third one, 3, 2, 1, coming back. Okay, just change the angle a little bit, just so everyone can see. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, last 2 per side. So we're at 4 in total left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and leg. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last 1 per side. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, last one. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and coming back out. Okay, so adjust depending on how you feel on your knees. Okay, so don't push it too hard for this one because it is primarily on the front leg. So there's going to be a little bit more pressure on that knee as well. But if you sink your hips back enough, your hips also help you bring yourself back up as well. Okay, but just be careful. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we are going to poke the band again. We are going to be doing a rowing exercise. So we might actually have done this before, but let me switch to a different color band. It's hopefully a little bit easier to see. Okay, so you can either have your feet 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Actually today, let's, if you can, see if you can do one-sided. So I think we did the 2-arm version before, but let's have 1 foot back as well. And that will come into play later on. Okay, so whatever arm is pulling, let's have that leg backwards as well. Okay, and we're just gonna get the elbows back and also get the shoulders back. Okay, so be 2. And if you don't have anything to hook on to, what you can do is that you can just hold on with it with the other arm and just pull, keep one arm in place and pull with the other. So I'm holding on with this side and then working with the other side. Okay, but it'll be probably easier if you have something to hook on to. Okay, so one hand at a time. Okay, so let's call this 2, 3, 4. Be careful now that you're not overly rotating. So we don't want this to turn into like a trunk exercise. We want to work on the back of the shoulders. So your chest roughly stays pointing forward. Let's call this up 8, 9, 10. Once again, it doesn't matter as much how many exactly you get up to, but we want to work till we have about 3 to 5 left in the tank. So we can at most do about 3 to 5 more times because our muscles are getting tight. Okay, so shake it up and we'll switch sides onto the other arm. Okay, so same idea. either hook onto something or hold on, anchor to your other arm. Okay, so I'm pulling my right arm this time, and then have my right leg back. Okay, still stabilizing ourselves. Use the chair if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so check it out. Okay, so now we're gonna combine the two together. So for this one, if you don't feel comfortable with balance, if you just want to work on one side of your bars and knees a little bit, don't worry about it. Just do one or the other. But we're pretty much combining the two movements that we just did. So it would probably be easier if you only have one chair for support. And it's going to be on the side of your free hand. So what I'm going to do, pretty much the same thing as before. We're going to take a big step back. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 pulls. So that 1, 2, okay, and then coming back. Okay, so it's and then if you want, you can switch sides if you want to, or you can do the same thing. So I'm going to switch sides, just a little bit easier on my grip. So I'm going to actually still have 2 chairs, but I'm going to just switch hands and then do the other side now. Okay, so exact same thing as before, but we're going to do it in 2 arm pull with 1 leg. So I'm just going to get out of the way so it's easy to see. But I'm going to take 1 step back, same side as the arm that's working. I'm going to go 1, 2, okay, and then coming back to the sides. Okay, to the 2, 2, going back, and you might actually find it to be easier because the band is actually helping you get back up. So if you want, you can drop down a little lower if you prefer, like to. 3, 3, 4, 4. We're gonna go up to 10. 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay, once again, go to a level that's comfortable for you. So that could be just a tiny step. 7, 7. Okay, or if you feel more comfortable, you can drop a little lower. 8, 8, 9, 9. And last one. 10, 10. Yeah. Going back up, shaking both hands out. Okay, so we'll do the balance one next. So what we're going to do is kind of similar to what we did in the aerobic one. So we're pretty much going to be working on our weight shifting. So balance, once again, is not just standing on one leg. It's not just balancing while we move our hands. So there's coordination between hands and legs. We could also engage our brain at the same time as we balance. So all of this is roughly staying in one place. We also want to work on the being able to shift our weight side to side. Okay, and sometimes we want to shift our weight side to side fairly quickly. So what we're going to do is that we're going to just take a big step out and then go back into a single stance. So let's start off with just kind of like what we did in the aerobic stuff, where we take a step and then we try to balance and hold for 3 seconds at a time. So 3, 2, 1. So I should probably have chairs on both sides actually, just so that if I need to grab something, there is something to grab onto. So we take a step and balance. See if we can use less of hands. 3, 2, 1. Okay, kind of go over to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you feel more comfortable, see if you can lengthen the distance of your almost like a hop or a step. So what you find is that if you take too long, it takes a little more energy to get back to the other stand. So if you can, big step and shift your weight over so there's momentum going this way, and can you still balance and stop yourself from toppling over the other side. So imagine sometimes it's a big hole and you have to kind of leap over a little bit, okay, and then balance on that leg, okay, and then just going back and forth. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. You can play around a little bit, see if you can almost see if you can step over something and then balance. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and you can also go forward and back a little bit as well. So imagine there's a big puddle of water on the floor, and you have to take a step and then get over. So if you just take a big step forward, you're gonna get kind of stuck here, unless you can also, of course, lean forward and get yourself back up. But see if you can just, oh, this is a little bit harder going backwards, so be careful of that. Okay, but imagine you're stepping over something, okay, and then quickly balance on that leg. Okay, so maybe walk back and see if you can step over, okay, and balance. Okay, so I lost control that time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so just I think different ways that we can train our balance. Okay, so but then single leg is always important, just of course because it's harder to balance there. Okay, so let's do everything one more time. So we're gonna go back to that the reverse lunge position. So that's LUNG spelled. Okay. And then we're just going to take a step back as usual, as before. Once again, see if your knees are tracking over your feet. Okay, I'm going to hold on a little longer this time. So for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up, going the other way. Remember to shift your entire body weight backwards as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back. Okay, 4 more per side. Come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So even if you don't go back too far back or too low, see if you can just still control the knee. So don't let your knee kind of cave in. See if you can still push the knees out a little bit so that it is dragging over the foot. Okay, 3 more per side. Okay, taking a step back, going as low as you feel comfortable. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, same reminder, see if you can shift your weight back a little bit so your knees are not over your toes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I think it's the last one per side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the front of the thigh is probably getting a little tight by now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and coming back. Okay, going back to that rowing motion. So either tie it to structure, something sturdy, or hold it with one arm as you pull with the other. Let me just quickly check the time real quick. Okay, so we're still good. Okay, so whatever arm is pulling, step back with the other leg, same side leg, pulling the elbows back and pulling the shoulders back, not allowing the body to rotate too much. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and stop once again when you have 35 left in the tank. Okay, and shake it out if you need to. Okay, same thing on our side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And check it out. Okay, so last one, let's switch it up. Actually, let's still keep a single side just because not everyone has something to anchor it. So we'll do the exact same thing. So we're gonna do step back, 2 pulls, and then come back up. So we take a step back, we're dropping a little lower than before. So 1, 2, come back up, switch hands, 2, 2. 3, 3, 4, 4. Okay, we're trying to aim for 10 or so. 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Okay, so even if we load high, make sure that we're still looking at what our knees is doing. 8, 8, 9, 9. Okay, last one. 10, 10. Okay, and shaking things out. Setting up for the balance, so whatever you feel comfortable with. Once again, we're gonna go side to side hop, and then we're gonna hold for a few seconds. Use as much so you can tap your. If you can't hold a single stance, you can tap your floor or use your hands a little bit. Okay, but let's go side to side a few times first. Okay, and slowly see if you can go a little further away. Take a bigger step and then push yourself over and still be able to maintain our balance. Imagine stepping over something and then get over and balance. Okay, so you have to push a little bit with your, I guess, ankle leg or the leg that's coming second. Okay, if you want, you can even just, if you feel comfortable, see if you can almost do a little hop and then do a balance. Okay, and same thing, front to back. Should probably get a little closer together. So kind of an exaggerated version of when we do front to back shift. Okay, but this is a much more exaggerated version where we are really shifting our weight forward and back. I should probably remove the stuff behind me for safety. And you can always switch which leg you're stepping with. Okay, and slowly, if you feel comfortable, see if you can just go a little bit further than before. Okay, how far that is depends on yourself. Okay, but always be careful coming back. Always a little bit more difficult to control our balance. Okay, so good job, everyone. A little bit earlier on time today, but that's okay. We're just going to go into the stretching part next. Okay, so pretty much our usual types of stretches. We did a lot of shoulders, a little more the thighs, so we might do more of that today. So let's do this one first while we still have the energy, and maybe we have the chairs. So for this one, you have 2 choices. So if you're flexible enough, see if you can grab your ankles, and you're going to be pointing your knee down towards the floor. If you can't quite grab your knees or your ankles, you can rest your foot onto a chair behind, and then still push the hips forward until you feel stretched here. So important thing is we don't want our back to be arching like this. So sometimes when we're a little tight in the quads, we can compensate by kind of bending hips. So first thing, see if you can push your hips a little forward. Second one, see if you can bring the front of your pants up to the ceiling. And you should feel the stretch in the front of your thighs, maybe getting a little deeper. And we're just gonna hold here for kind of 15 to 30 seconds. Or you can think of that maybe as maybe 3 to 5 deep breaths. Okay, and switch to the other leg when you're ready. So either grab on the ankles or the foot or use the chair. But same as before, especially if you grab the ankles, sometimes we kind of look like this. So first thing, see if you can get your hips coming a little forward, get your knees to be pointing more towards the ground, and lastly, see if you can bring the front of your hands up towards the ceiling. So it's more of a straight line from my shoulders to the knee instead of something like this, where it's almost like a C shape. Okay, so straight line from the knee up to the shoulders. Okay, once again, holding on for a little longer. Let's do 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and coming back. Let's do the opposite, stretching the hamstrings. Today, let's do it a little bit more. Let's do it in motion. So usually we kind of hold it. This time, we're gonna do it in motion. So we're gonna do maybe hold on to something on one side, and then kick one leg out. And you imagine what you're doing is that you're trying to almost sweep the floor and come back up. If you don't feel, if that makes you feel dizzy, just kind of hold here. That's fine. If it's okay for you, see if you can imagine try to get your hand closer. Okay, or maybe you can just not go up and down too much. Okay, but imagine trying to reach onto the floor from the back to the floor to forward. Okay, let's call this 3. If you don't get dizzy easily, you can come all the way back up, but you don't really need to. So just kind of 4, 5. Let's do number 6. Okay, always pause. First, after we lean over, just make sure that we are feeling okay. And you can do the same thing on the other leg. So you're gonna kick one leg forward, kind of push the butt back, and same thing, sweep the floor. I should probably switch hands. Okay, so once again, leg forward, butt back. Try to get closer to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and once again, pause as long as you need to. Okay, let's stretch the hips a little bit. Let's try to do a standing today as well. So usually we do the figure 4 cross sitting there, but this time we try to do it standing up. So what you're gonna do is that you are going to stand on, so hold on a chair on one hand, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna push the hip in the opposite direction. So a little bit backwards, a little off to the side. You can bring a chair closer if you need more support. But you should feel maybe a little bit stretch in the back of the leg, but also hopefully a little bit on the side of the hips as well. So see if you can push the hip diagonally backwards until you feel stretch on the side. Some people might feel a little bit further down the leg as well, just because they are connected. Okay, and we're gonna hold here. Once again, you can even grab 2 chairs to get more comfortable. Okay, let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Once again, pause. Maybe even pump your heels a little bit. Okay, sometimes our blood pressure drops when we suddenly get up. So sometimes just squeezing the hands or squeezing the legs can help us to stabilize. Okay, so same thing. you're going to put more weight on one leg, and you're just going to push it away from the body. You might have to kind of move around a little bit, see where you feel it. You can even get your upper body a little more towards the opposite side until you feel a stretch. Okay, holding on for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, coming back. Okay, let's stretch the shoulders. Let's stretch here a little bit as well. So this time, let's grab on, move a chair onto one side, and we're going to reach our opposite hand over, and we'll anchor it down the other hand, and we're just going to push our body away from it. So a little bit similar to hip stretch, but instead of the hip, we're stretching a little more the shoulders. And I'm pushing my butt back a little bit as well. So kind of bend over. My right hand more towards my left side, and I'm kind of leaning towards my right. So from this angle, it looks something like this. Okay, so it's pretty much the opposite. Before we're doing a lot of holding this way, so now we're stretching it in the opposite direction. So kind of similar to if we're using a hand, but sometimes you need a chair, just gives us a little more leverage, so we can pull a little bit harder, a little further. Okay, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So I'm pushing my butt back. My left hand is going over to my right, and I am anchoring the chair down, and I'm leaning or pushing my entire body, upper body at least, towards the opposite direction from where my hands are. Okay, holding on for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, once again, coming back up, pause, move our hands and feet a little bit until we feel completely okay. Okay, so let's do the forearm stretch. So get your palm out, palm to palm, and you're just going to straighten your elbows while pulling your fingers towards yourself. If you can, see if you can also maybe gently open up the fingers as well. So try to straighten your fingers out. When you're ready, just the same thing on the other side. So look at your palm, palm to palm, straighten your elbows, pull fingers towards our hips. If you can, straighten out your fingers as well. Okay, lastly, let's go into sitting first. Just our usual shoulder stretch. So either hook your fingers underneath the chair and lean away, or if you want, you can sit on the fingers, or you can just have a dangle on the side as well. But you can use your free hand to create more distance between your ear and your shoulder. Try to take deep breaths in and out. So really try to take a full breath in. Okay, same position, but looking down to the floor a little bit more. And pausing in between until we are ready to go on the opposite side. Okay, exact same thing. Okay, last one, looking towards our armpits or towards the floor. Okay, check everything out. Okay, take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Do a body scan, see where you're still a little bit tense. Okay, and if there's any, see if you can relax them. Okay, so deep breath in, deep breath out. See which area is moving. So we want to breathe more into our diaphragm on the belly area, keeping our shoulders relaxed. Maybe just one more deep breath. Okay, so thank you for coming, everyone. Hope everyone have a good long weekend and see everyone next week. Bye bye.